Good morning, students. So yesterday we had seen case number 1, problems of investing activities. Today let's take down the case number 2. So write down in the next line case number 2. The previous was case number 1 where we have preparation of fixed asset account and written down value method. Case 2 is write down preparation of fixed account on original cost basis. Write down. Next line. If the balance sheet contains an item of provision for depreciation or accumulated depreciation for both the years, comma, it means that the fixed assets shown in the balance sheet are shown at their original cost. Full stop. In such cases, comma, fixed asset account and provision of depreciation account should be prepared separately. Full stop. By preparing fixed asset account, the amount of fixed assets purchased or sold during the year will be found out, and by preparing provision for depreciation account, the amount of depreciation charged during the year will be found out. So in this case what happens, we will prepare a fixed asset account when in the balance sheet they have already given us the depreciation or accumulated depreciation amount. So whatever figure is given in the balance sheet will be our original cost of fixed asset. So take down the problem for you all to understand better. Illustration 30. The balance in equipment account and accumulated depreciation is given below. The equipment costing 12,30,000, accumulated depreciation 7,18,000 was sold for 4,68,000. So what we need to find out, compute the amount of equipment purchased, depreciation charged for the year and loss on sale of equipment, and the second is how each of the item related to equipment will be reported in the statement of cash flow. So let's take down the first one now. First we will prepare our equipment account, same way like a ledger account that we prepared in the previous term. Particulars, amount, particulars, amount. First step is bring down the balance. To balance brought down. Our equipment is 65 lakh. Then we have by balance carried down. Closing balance is 78 lakh 70,000. Next we have the equipment which costed 12,30,000 was sold for 4,68,000. So there is a sale by bank account, sale of equipment. How much? 4,68,000. In the problem they have also given us accumulated depreciation thereon is 7,18,000. What is accumulated depreciation? The depreciation that has been accumulated in the particular fixed asset over the past few years. So write by accumulated depreciation account, it is 7,18,000. This is nothing but in bracket you can write depreciation on equipment sold. See, you had an equipment which costed you 12,30,000. In that you had a depreciation of 7,18,000 and you sold it for 4,68,000. Now do we have a profit or loss? We need to calculate. It is definitely a loss because 12,30,000 minus 7,18,000. Whatever answer we get, we sold it for 4,68,000. So there is by loss on sale. It is 12,30,000 minus 7,18,000 minus 4,68,000. when from the actual amount we reduce the depreciation, we get 5,12,000. Of 5,12,000 we sold for 4,68,000. So there is a loss on sale of equipment by 44,000. To know whether there is a profit or loss, you need to first deduct the amount of equipment with the depreciation amount. Whatever answer we get, it is very easy for us to find out whether there is a profit or a loss. Last, we need to total which side is more. Our credit side is more, it is 91 lakh. 91 lakh. So there is two bank account, purchase of equipment. How much? 26 lakh. So the first point was compute the amount of equipment purchase. Equipment purchase is 26 lakh. Depreciation charge for current year is yet to find out. And loss on sale of equipment we found out is 44,000. To now calculate the current year's depreciation amount, we need to prepare our accumulated depreciation account. So to calculate our current year's depreciation account, we need to prepare our accumulated depreciation account. So first step is, now as your accumulated depreciation is a liability, we will bring a balance brought down in the credit side, that is by balance brought down 10,80,000 to balance carried down. Our closing balance will be 16,30,000. Whenever we prepare a particular asset account, the balance which will be brought down will be on our debit side and a closing balance will be on our credit side. But in case of liability, whatever balance we are bringing down will be on a credit side and the closing balance will be on a debit side. Next, what do we have? In our equipment account, we had by accumulated depreciation account 7,18,000. So in our accumulated depreciation account, we'll have two equipment account, 7,18,000. We total it, we get this side more, 23,50,000. Our debit side is more. Whatever balancing figure we get is our current year's depreciation. 12,70,000 is our by depreciation account balancing figure, current year's depreciation. You can write down in the bracket. So first step is bring down the balance and the closing balance. Next, when we have prepared our asset account, on the credit side we have written by accumulated depreciation, that is 7,18,000. So in the accumulated depreciation, obviously it will be two equipment accounts, 7,18,000. Why? What's the journal entry for the depreciation? It is accumulated depreciation account debited to our equipment account. So whatever balancing figure we get is our current year's depreciation. So we know what is the current year's depreciation. It is 12,70,000. Next, I have asked us the second question, how each of the item related to the equipment will be reported in statement of cash flow. So we will write cash flow statement. So next we will be writing cash flow statement. We will have particulars, amount and amount. So first, they have asked us where each of the item will be written on our cash flow statement. They have not just asked us to prepare cash flow from investing activities. So our current year's depreciation, where would it come? It would come in our operating activities. Loss on sale of equipment will again be our operating activity. And in our investing activity, we will only be having sale of equipment and purchase of equipment. So write down cash flow from operating activity. Do we have a net profit? No. Then we add all the expenses, that is depreciation for current year. Why don't we write down accumulated depreciation? We do not write because we write only current year's depreciation. And then so depreciation is 12 lakh 70,000. And then we have loss on sale of equipment, 44,000. Clear? So we get operating activities at 13 lakh 14,000. Next we have cash flow from investing activities. We have sale of equipment and purchase of equipment. Our sale of equipment is 4,68,000 and purchase on equipment is 26 lakh. 26 lakh will be a negative figure because there is a purchase. So we get our cash flow from investing activities as negative 21,32,000. Do we have cash flow from financing activities? No. So this is how we prepare the cash flow statement. Next, let's take down one problem relating to cash flow financing activities, and after this we can continue with the full-fledged cash flow statement problems. Illustration 33. From the following, calculate cash flow from financing activities. So we have cash flow from financing activities, particulars and amount. Turn back your pages and see what and all is included in our financing activities. We usually have issue of shares, redemption of debentures, interest paid, dividend paid, interim dividend paid. So in this problem they have given us in the balance sheet equity share, preference share, debentures, and then they have given us additional information. So the first thing is in 2006 our issue equity share is 6 lakh, but in 2007 it is 8 lakh. So there is a issue of equity shares. Leave some space for the problem. After the problem, write down note. Write down calculation of proceeds from issue of equity shares. So first it will be equity share of 2007 8 lakh less equity shares of 2006 6 lakh, we get 2 lakh as a fresh issue of equity shares. Then we add securities premium in bracket 2 lakh into 15%, we get 30,000. And then there is a underwriting commission of equity shares. Point number 7. Underwriting commission. It is 10,000. So 2,20,000 is a proceeds from issue of equity shares. If all the other information was not given like securities premium and underwriting commission, we would just write proceeds of shares of equity shares 8 lakh minus 6 lakh, that is 2 lakh. But in the problem they have already given us so many information about equity shares. So first we will write down equity share of the year 2007 and deduct the previous year equity share, that is 6 lakh. Which means from last year's 6 lakh there has been more issue of 2 lakh shares. It has increased to 8 lakh. Then point number 1 is equity shares were issued at a premium of 15%. There is a fresh issue of 2 lakh equity shares. In that 2 lakh equity shares we have a securities premium of 15%. So we add 2 lakh into 15%. Premium means they are paying us more than what has been issued. 2 lakh into 15% will get 30,000. And then we have underwriting commission for equity shares. So underwriters are nothing but they are kind of brokers who help us to issue the shares. So when we have underwriting commission, we will deduct our underwriting commission and get the answer as 2,20,000. So we know what is a issue of equity shares. It is 2,20,000. Note number 1. Next, 12% preference shares were redeemed at a premium of 5%. So preference shares last year they were 2 lakh. This year there are no preference shares, which means we have redeemed our preference shares. So write down redemption of preference shares. In bracket we write 2 lakh plus premium on redemption, which is 2 lakh plus 2 lakh into 5%, that is 2 lakh plus 10,000. So redemption of preference shares will be 2 lakh 10,000. Next we have 14% debentures issued at a discount of 1%. So last year there were no debentures, but this time there is 1 lakh debentures. So there is again proceeds from issue of debentures. Again in the bracket, what's the amount? 1 lakh minus discount on debentures. Whenever there is a discount, it is deducted. Whenever there is a premium, we add it. So it is 1 lakh minus 1 lakh into 1%. It is 1 lakh minus 1,000. So we get 99,000 as our fresh issue of debentures. Next we have interim dividend paid. So this will be direct interim dividend 90,000. It will be a negative figure because we are paying it. It is a cash outflow. Then we have dividend paid. Negative figure again 24,000. Then we have interest paid on debentures. Interest paid on debentures. Again it's a negative figure of 14,000. So add minus, we get the total as negative 19,000. This is our cash flow from financing activities. So whatever is the outflow will be negative figure. Wherever there is issue of shares or debentures, it will be a positive figure. So for you all to be clear, what is securities premium, issue at discount or underwriting commission? See, securities premium is a gain which is earned by an organization when they issue fresh shares more than the face value of the shares. That's why securities premium is always added. But what is discount? When an organization makes a loss by giving the shares lesser than the face value, it is a discount. Let me give you an example. If the face value of the shares is 10 and if the company gives it for 12, it is a securities premium. But if the face value of the shares is 10 and the company gives for 8, it is a discount, which means the company is having a loss. Next, underwriting commission. Underwriting commission is nothing but the commission which is earned by an underwriter for issuing fresh shares to the company. Clear? That's the reason in the problem we add the securities premium, we deduct the underwriting commission because it's an expense, and we deduct the discount. So we have done 2 or 3 problems of each of the activities. From tomorrow onwards, we shall be doing a full-fledged problem of cash flow statement. Please revise the format and revise these problems so that when you do the full-fledged cash flow problem, it would be very easy for all of you. Thank you.